800,000 federal workers missed their first paycheck yesterday, and that's the tip of the iceberg as more Americans are starting to feel the impact. Joining us is our money man, Dan Riccado. Dan, let's talk to the people this morning because a lot of people are celebrating Eagles, right?
Yeah.
Liquor approval. I didn't even think about that one.
Well, look, 800,000 people, as you said, Lauren, didn't get one of these yesterday, a paycheck, right? And as you said, that has an impact not just on the 800,000 people, but it also impacts us. Booze. We're going to be celebrating tomorrow an Eagles win. Well, guess what? Those inspectors who are responsible for approving new alcohol offerings, you know, the label that's slapped on the back of your wine bottle or your beer bottle.
Yes.
That tells you how much alcohol is in. Well, that comes from the government, comes from the Treasury Department. Those folks are furloughed, and that means new offerings, think craft beer, for example, Lauren, are not being approved. So you and I as consumers, we're not going to see any new booze offerings until this thing's over.
I'm sure that's frustrating for those who've been working behind the scenes to make it happen.
Yeah.
Okay, another thing we can relate to, a lot of people are heading down to New Orleans because of the game.
Yeah.
TSA, airport jobs, those kinds of things, delays, it's going to be a headache.
That's right. Now, it seems to be very sporadic. I flew in yesterday morning. I'm headed back out again tomorrow. What I've experienced, I've been in 4 different airports this week, is that I haven't seen any direct impact yet. But they are saying some airports, like Miami, for example, they have a shortage of staff due to, they're blaming it on the furloughs. And that will impact travel. Listen, travel, as you know, is already enough of a hassle. The last thing you and I need is fewer inspectors and air traffic controllers.
That's true.
Yeah.
I can't imagine lines getting any longer than they already are. So good luck to anyone who's traveling down to cheer on our birds for tomorrow. Yep. If I'm applying for a new mortgage, that could be delayed also. Yeah,
so here's the deal. Some of the mortgage programs in this country, as you know, need government impact or input. So, for example, the FHA mortgages. And there's a shortage of staff. So in many cases now, some of the big banks are stepping up, like Wells Fargo and others, and they're making some workarounds. But if you're applying for a mortgage, you may experience a delay. That's the bottom line.
Jeez. It's really hitting us everywhere. And then finally, Dan, FDA and the food inspection.
Yeah. So the mini wheats that you and I are going to eat this morning for breakfast and other foods are, the FDA is responsible to make sure that the foods that we eat, the drugs that we take, are safe. Right?
Yes.
Now, with the inspectors, many of them are furloughed. They have actually slowed down some of the inspections. Now, they've issued a statement this week saying that all the critical stuff is happening. But, in fact, we should expect that some of the less critical, how do you define that, may not be happening. So that's another thing that is really not good. This is a ripple effect, Lauren. Look, 800,000 folks not getting a paycheck means that over time, the longer this goes on, the economy will be impacted. Not just for those 800,000, but for you and I as well.